In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.
Welcome back to the Tech Zone, Paul Amadeus Lane. This is the second segment of the show, ABC News Radio KingMet. We're streaming on YouTube, live stream, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, iTunes. I think I'm going to have Sean just record that for me so you guys can quit hearing my voice about how you can check out the show and watch it and listen to it on demand. As you know, I am very passionate about technology, especially when it comes to digital health, technology that can keep us healthy and to help out our family members and ones who are part of the disabled and senior community. I had an opportunity to interview a great individual, great company for Abilities Expo. As you know, I'm an ambassador for the Abilities Expo. And I had a chat with this one individual about his technology and what it's doing to help others out there. I was so intrigued by our conversation. I wanted to invite him on the Tech Zone to talk about the technology, talk about the vision, and what made him create this company. Oftentimes when we're going through challenges in our lives and something that may happen to us or our loved ones, it kind of gets our creative juices going in the proper way, where we want to try to see what can we do to help ones in similar situations and our family members. Well, my next guest is going to talk about this. And I'm so happy to have with me right now the president and CEO of Backpack Health, my friend, Jim Captain. Jim, what's going on?
Hello, Paul. How are you?
Great to see you, my friend. Before I brought you on, I told my audience that I actually had you on the ability show that I do for the Abilities Expo. And I said, based on our conversation then, I was like, I have to feature them on the Tech Zone because the technology that exists in this innovation, man, is like amazing. So for the ones who didn't watch the Abilities Expo broadcast, talk about what made you want to create Backpack Health, please.
Sure. Well, first of all, you're very kind in your generous words. Backpack was designed from a variety of viewpoints, wanting to help people who live with complex health conditions and are trying to manage that information, or people who care for people who live with complex health conditions, whether they're injury related or if they happen to be rare or small disease or just chronic health conditions that impair their ability or just require an awful lot of information. We try to improve accessibility. We try to improve user control, which leads to empowerment. We are very focused on that idea of social justice and patients really truly having control of their information. And then if they wish, they can contribute their information in a meaningful way to be de-identified and participate in research with academic researchers or even drug companies.
Wow. So it's really like a more than just an area where you can input your injury and your medication. It's really like a health hub, if we can say that.
It was exactly designed for that, to be the hub. The wearable apps, which we link to, they change every few months. That's exactly, we want that to happen. Backpack is a common place. It's a stable place where people can link that type of information to. We presently speak 5 languages homogeneously. Wow. So English, French, Spanish, German, and Portuguese. If you put your information in one, you can translate it out in another. It means the same thing. We have wearable technology that you can use for emergency bracelets or jewelry if you want to make sure that paramedics or nurses in an emergency room can find out your information. That's all information that's so important.
And then speaking of paramedics, when we had our conversation for the Abilities Expo, you opened up and talked about your journey from being a paramedic to creating this company and how it had a kind of a personal mission behind it. Do you mind sharing that with this audience?
No, I'm happy to. So yes, I had a wonderful career as a paramedic and a flight paramedic for a number of years. My career then took me into healthcare in terms of working with the pharmaceutical business and contributing to the management of medical schools. But along the way, my family was blessed with the birth of my niece, and she was born with a genetic connective tissue disorder. It has not let this young woman stop her in the least, but it was something that I saw my sister struggle with, all kinds of additional needs for carrying her binders of her medical records with her when we would travel and worries about that. So I really was able and lucky enough and honestly blessed to see from both a emergency paramedic viewpoint of how to help when information is needed at the moment it's needed the most, and then how to look at it from an academic or truly scientific standpoint of what information is needed and what else can we do with it, with the idea being we can provide real utility up front, and that means everything to the patient and to their family care circle, but we can also use that information in a way that is very efficient and very respectful of those patients and their family caregivers, and not keep asking for the same question over and over. So we like to collect the information once, use it multiple times if the patient and their family allows us to.
And Jim, from paramedic to tech startup, it doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean?
American dream, Paul.
Yeah, to saving lives to geeking out, right? I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And talk about the way technology is today, how it was the time to implement this vision, because we've made a technological just leap in the last 10 years. Talk about how the tech made this possible.
Well, that's a great point. If we look back 10 years ago, research data collection was all about paper. There were very clunky first starts at collecting information from patients, maybe some early tablet type of work. Hospital medical records, there were still probably a few hospitals that are still primarily using paper, but now they're all very heavily in what are called electronic medical records, which are all obviously very advanced software systems. All those systems, though, work together to each with their own interest. Not all of them are focused on the best interest of the patient. So just in the past few years, with the number of interoperability standards like FHIR and other things, it's allowed the ability to start to link those tools together, which is really very powerful. Also, the complete saturation of mobile phone devices and really wearable mobile health tech has allowed for companies like ours to position themselves to be a platform and to connect to other tools that might be out there.
And one of the things that you and I know from experience, me being a LA County emergency medical technician before my accident, and you being a paramedic, is that back in the days, remember, we used to have to take the patient history and everything, and what if somebody was unconscious? What if somebody didn't have their loved one there or someone there? We were like kind of flying blind. So now this innovation right here really helps out, and it's going to save a lot of lives. And Jim, you and I had a conversation last week. This actually happened, right? Someone's life was actually saved by an incident?
Yeah, we have actually had this happen a couple of times now. We have reports. Even my own niece, who was the inspiration for the company, suffered a spontaneous pneumothorax while at summer camp. Backpack was able to step in and provide information to the nurse there. Certainly provided her mother with a level of comfort while she was waiting to have her transported to the appropriate hospital. We've also just recently heard about a woman who collapsed while in the airport in Lisbon, Portugal. She's not Portuguese, she's an American, but her backpack app was able to be translated into Portuguese so that the emergency responders there were able to treat her appropriately. That's something that just happened in the last 2 weeks. We're tremendously gratified by those types of stories.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know, like for myself, now a backpack user, I travel a lot, and if something were to happen to me where I was away from my team or from my wife, and something happened, it's good to have a peace of mind that if something happens to me, the emergency EMS will know that I have to be catheterized every so many hours. I do a bowel program. I do all these things, because if not, if someone just goes into an emergency room unconscious, medical professionals really don't know what's going on. They don't even know your name. But with this, they can go into the medical records. They can do a lot of things. And I tell you, it's an amazing thing, and the ease of it is amazing. I know some people, when it comes to technology and putting medical records, they're kind of scared, they're kind of apprehensive. I don't want to do all this work, but the way you guys have just put this platform together, man, it's easy.
Thank you, Paul. It's very generous. I have a wonderful team of just dedicated engineers, product specialists, designers. We have epidemiologists. We have a wonderful physician who does nothing but think about the user journey experience. Backpack is getting better and better. We will have more features to make it simpler in the next few months to upload those records. We'll be adding more and more information, more languages. I think the next two are Italian and Dutch, and we're certainly excited by that. The ability to take your information and with your consent, share it with your wife, share it with other people whom you may be traveling with, so that even if you maybe are able to speak for yourself, someone else can step in and do that for you and allow you to just take care of yourself. That's really nice. It's very controllable. Even if you want to just provide temporary access, if you have a child, you want to let your babysitter have temporary access to information while you're, out to dinner or something, you can provide that access for a short period of time and then take it right back when you get home, so that someone else isn't walking around with all your child or your information. Seriously.
And I encourage everyone to get this app, whether if you have any medical challenges or not. Just for that point, let's say that your loved one got hurt in an accident or something, and you're at home waiting for them to come home, and you have no idea what's taking them so long to come. That's what happened to me. My accident was at like 2:30 in the morning, and my parents didn't get the call until about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. So they were like, "Where's this boy at? He knows not to be out this late," But nowadays, the way the technology is, it's got like a peace of mind, and it's just I just think this is one of those technological advances that I was talking to my friend from the Consumer Technology Association. This is one of those pieces of technology that gets you all warm inside, because it helps you to live everyday life, but it also enhances people's lives, and it really, the challenge that people face when it comes to medical and medicine right now, it really is going to help out, Jim.
Thank you, Paul. This is one of those solutions where the environment is presenting itself to us. Many people are very intimidated when they talk to their doctors. Many people are very intimidated when it comes to their own medical records. Sometimes they just turn their back on it and say it's too complicated. Even if you put a simple, small amount of information in it, it can be very meaningful in times of an emergency. It can be very meaningful in terms of allowing someone else to care for you. That is terrific. Without even thinking about the downstream potential of research and how we can all contribute to the betterment of a disease or a condition. We don't know how the information that is captured, it is captured and in the back end is de-identified and made available. If the patient consents to it, we have no idea the positive outcomes that could potentially bring.
And that research element, Jim, is just, I am like just floored by that. And I'll tell you why. Is because, I never even thought about that even to being a reality. So, I had our conversation for the Abilities Expo. And when did you think about that, to say, hey, let's have this component in there when it comes to research? Was it with your niece and the challenges that she faced? What made you want to put that in there? Because I never would have thought about it.
So I was very lucky. I ran a very large research company in the arthritis space, and it's still a wonderful company that impacts thousands of lives globally around the arthritis world. That gave me an enormous amount of understanding of the importance of observational or patient and physician-derived research. That connection, when I sort of saw the experience my sister was having with that binder and having that front-end kind of patient-centric stuff that just causes so much effort, connecting the dots with the necessity, the fact that we're collecting all the information in there anyways, so we might as well make it available instead of asking the patient or the patient's guardian, their parents, whomever, to re-enter information so it could be used for a potential research project. If we're collecting it anyways, and it could potentially be useful, most people are happy to, as long as they have confidence in the security and the ethics of what's happening, and we go to great lengths to assure them of that, are happy to allow their de-identified, meaning there's no personal information in it, be used for research. It was just part of this idea of let's make it simpler, let's reduce fatigue, let's break down the silos that are so rampant in healthcare, whether it's for patient care or for research.
And Jim, what we've been for our audience out there who are watching us on our video platforms, we've been showing some of the video of what you guys have, and it's like it explains it in a way that is so easy to understand, and we are so happy to have this type of innovation. And I know my audience knows that I do work with the Abilities Expo, and you guys were just at the Houston Expo. Talk about just the feedback that you guys got from the disabled community and their caregivers. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, we had a tremendous time. It's very flattering. It is very humbling to reach out and embrace a community and have them turn around and reach back and say, wow, this is impactful, I understand. And it might not always be for the individual themselves, but perhaps the person that's there is a loved one of someone with a disability or someone who has some degree of challenge in their life. Those people, you can see the look on their face when they say, oh, this is helpful and allow me to help care for my loved one, even if they're on the other side of the world or the other side of the country. That's very rewarding. We've had lots of interest from different companies that are also working in the abilities community to try and support people. We're happy to partner with them, and we're moving forward to do that. Our social media activity has tremendously increased, Paul, thanks to you. So thank you for that. But it was very flattering. We're looking forward to attending more meetings.
Well, thank you so much. I'm always glad to help when it comes to the cause, and you guys are doing a fantastic thing. My honor and privilege to be a part of the coverage with you guys. Now, before I let you go, is there anything else that you like to let the audience know about that we didn't touch on during our interview?
Well, thank you. Backpack, like all software products or any software products, is a work in progress. We're excited about where we are. Stay tuned. We will have some really impressive functional enhancements that are coming, some very novel things that will be out later this year. We're excited about new languages. We're excited about expressing or expanding our ability to support individuals and families living with complex health challenges around the world. So 60 countries so far. We'll be adding more, I'm sure. We look forward to talking again. Thank you all so much for your support.
Okay, let's do it, my friend. So how can one find out more information about Backpack?
As always, the internet's the greatest place. www.backpackhealth.com. You can download us from the App Store. You can download us from Google Play. You can go to our website and find out other ways that you can download it to your desktop. You can learn about us. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. And please connect, follow. We all kinds of clever things that get posted out on social media stories. Sometimes people post their adventures of where their backpack's taking them. So we are very happy, and we love to get feedback. So we'd love to hear more from people who have ideas or who had experiences with Backpack. We learn and take advantage of that opportunity every day.
Awesome. And Jim, great to talk to you again, and look forward to catching back up with you when we talk about the newer developments of the platform. And we welcome you to the tech field. We appreciate having you guys there because you guys are really helping and changing people's lives.
Thank you, Paul. It's always a pleasure. You're doing great work. You're getting the word out. You're changing the exposure. So thank you very much.
Thank you much. It was an honor again to speak with Jim Cavan from Backpack Health. Make sure you check it out. Download the app, and it's definitely worth it. Download it. Let me know what you think. And hey, let's do this together. Let's stay healthy. Let's remain healthy. And especially if you're overseas, I love that feature. That's my biggest challenge if I go to another country or go out of town, something may happen to me, and this really is going to give me a peace of mind. Happy to be a Backpack user. So definitely check it out. All right, when we get back, we're going to talk about the new craze of how the social media and full disclosure are just to take out the surprise. It has nothing to do with typing behind a keyboard, but showing your face. So we're going to be talking about that coming up right after these messages on the Tech Zone. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane. We'll be back.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.